Yes, yes, we are live. We are live. We are live. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As always, we are tonight's entertainment. Views from the 22 live on the scene. Mo Schefter, Germ So True, Vic Jr., and the Godfather himself, Jay Ham. Jay, how you feeling tonight?
Chilling, man. I actually took a nap. I got refreshed. I got to go in my trivia bag and history bag for Super Bowl 50 Super Bowl LV week.
Super Bowl LV indeed. Super Bowl LV indeed. Germ So True, how you feeling?
Just hanging around. Mess around, soon you won't be around. That's what they say. So I ain't messing around.
Mr. Vic, we got an agitated Coco Jewels on the line tonight.
Oh, he'll be all right.
Vic, how you feeling?
Big baby.
I'm good, man. I'm good. Just studying some film. Uh, Getting ready to see how these teams are gonna have to defend each other. Been studying for a couple hours now, so
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Certainly, we're gonna get in the lab. This show is basically we're just gonna set up some stuff that's been happening, talk about some of the latest news and whatnot, talk about some of the matchups we are looking forward to, and then for those of you in the comments already without sharing the link, you're gonna hear it first, and you deserve to hear it first. So we're doing some like a game show type, a game contest type of show, either Wednesday or Saturday. More details will follow tomorrow. You see J Ham with the Birdman hand rub. So just to give you a quick rundown, we got a show definitely Thursday night, a show definitely Saturday night, and a show definitely Sunday early afternoon. And then we're gonna try to fit in a show Wednesday where we do some game contestant type of stuff. We're gonna have prizes, we're gonna have trivia, and from what I understand, we got a little Jane Ham trivia teaser. So we could just start it right there, Jay, if you want to. See,
Okay, let's see which question I'm going to roll with. I was actually just stomping Germ right before we went on the air, and that's kind of a hard thing to do because the true man in the false world, he's a real like almanac. He gets it. The dude does his history. But we have of the non-active Super Bowl winning coaches, we have two. No, we have more than that who have multiple Super Bowl wins. How many and name them?
mhm.
hold on, time out, fellas, time out. I did a comments check and it said action not allowed.
So we got a comments issue again.
Okay, let me go look.
See now YouTube. See why we got people just hating on us?
Yeah,
Why
'cause
does why?
nine people jumped on and they didn't say anything, so I figured
Yeah, I just got a
something.
text. Somebody's
Yeah.
accusing us of blocking them. Leave that one alone. All right, let's just keep rolling, Jay. Set up the question. We'll let people think about it, and then we will get back to it. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Jay. Keep going with the question.
Said,
Comments are rolling through.
They coming
we
through
have-
now?
Yeah, coming through.
Okay. All right, Jay. Go
oh,
ahead, bro.
okay, yeah. Of the non-active Super Bowl winning coaches, those guys who are not active, who are at home, retired, or perhaps even watching us here live on the scene, how many have won multiple Super Bowl titles? And name those who have won multiple Super Bowl titles who are not in the Hall of Fame,
Who are not active, right?
non-active.
So you saying that there's 9 of them that are not in the that currently are not coaching
Hmm.
that have Super Bowl titles or that have multiple Super Bowl titles.
Yes,
How many of them and who are not in the Hall of Fame?
right.
Is that am I getting that right?
That's correct.
Okay. We're going to so that's the first trivia the question of the day of the week. Let folks marinate on that for a second. If the answers pop up, we will read them live on the air. I wonder if we got any guesses yet. No guesses just yet.
No
Okay, we
guesses, no.
got one guess. We'll keep it going. We
I,
need we will stop. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jay.
I see one guess in the comments that's correct thus far.
Right. So that's the first one we're gonna give you. The rest of them, we are not gonna get to the comments until the allotted time,
Cool.
or until we see all the correct answers pop up. Let's move on a little bit. Let's get to some of the stuff of the game, fellas. Let's have it's a lighthearted session. Rob Gronkowski came out today in Super Bowl opening night, which used to be known as Media Day, which used to happen on Tuesdays. Now it happens on Mondays. Why? I'm not really sure. I like that it used to be on Tuesday night. Kind of used to get you ready for it. Plus, nothing's going on Tuesdays. We hate Tuesdays. Shout out to Tom Hanks. But now it's on Monday. So Rob Gronkowski said that the Buccaneers, I guess, were asking for all these audition tapes, so to say, of him running, him doing in conditioning tests and whatnot. He didn't feel like doing that every day. So instead, he did it all in the same day, switched shirts, and submitted his tape. Fellas, Vic, I see you smiling. Just give me a quick thought on that. Rapid fire style.
And you could kind of tell on film he was a little slow to start the season.
Yeah.
He was huffing and puffing. He was getting off the ground slow, and there was people putting him on his ass early. And he was getting up nice and slow. When he took a hit, he would get up nice and really slow. So that's funny. That dude is just. I mean, who else can get away with some shit like that, man?
Gronk alone, baby. Gronk alone. Jerm, your thoughts on when you heard that?
I mean, what do you expect? I didn't expect anything different. I mean, he did the right thing.
Oh, you condoning it, Jerm?
Yes, shortcuts in life, baby. Shortcuts. Take the shortcut if you can.
See, I don't see shortcuts feels like a derogatory term, Jerm. So we're just gonna say work smarter, not harder.
Oh well, hey,
Yeah,
shortcuts didn't still are work smarter, not harder. Because the shortcut avenue of it is still working smarter.
You know what? I'm just gonna move past that. Jay, what's your
You
thoughts?
said you don't want to talk to Webster, so here's Webster.
Do it right, do it light, do it wrong, do it long. That's simple.
Hey, that's a take a picture of that moment right there,
Listen,
boy.
Yeah, we gotta
Listen.
clip that. We gotta clip that.
Listen.
Go ahead, Vic.
There's a term in Spanish that says "Los vagos pasan más trabajo," right? The lazy ones go through the most work after. That's basically what it said. So if we want to be like, I know this is a joking moment, but if we wanted to be serious, you could tell that he was suffering more for this decision in the beginning of the season. So he was working harder during the season just because he wanted to take some
loaded tight end room though. They already had people.
Fair.
So
Right,
he had a little time to work into it. He probably said, "Hey Brady, you don't need me for the first 9 weeks. Work with OJ.
Yeah.
Just get me on the team."
This dude was crazy, yo. Only he could get away with something like that, not even get cut the next day type of
This is true.
situation. Oh my God, bro. That was funny.
Next thing that came out of Super Bowl opening night, the headliner himself, Tom Brady, the GOAT, said that he's not ruling out playing past the age of 45. They also asked him to compare the comparisons with MJ, not Myron, but hey, they both go. They all GOATs. But they asked him about the comparison between Michael Jordan and him in terms of sports stratospheres and being on that, top of the mountain alone type of aspect. Obviously, he's not going to give you any headline. He's going to give you a very humble and somewhat probably BS answer. Let's just keep it all the way real. But Vic, again, let's start with you on this one again, Vic. From what you've seen on film from this dude, is there any reason to doubt that he can play past next year?
Yeah, no, I mean, I was watching the press conference and they asked him about TB12 and the whole method and everything that he's going through, he's promoting. And it made me think in my head, like, damn, maybe this dude wants to, like, he's being a salesman right now. He's being a businessman right now. Because if he could play past 45, he could play 46, 47, 48, which apparently is the record by George Blanda. That's basically promoting his business, TB12, and how it works and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, what you see on tape, man, we showed some of it on the film study. The ability he has to step up in the pocket, to look one way, flip his hips in one stride, and basically get on one stride to throw a laser beam. I don't know where this theory is that he doesn't have a strong arm, because he still has a plus arm, and when it comes to NFL standards. So the dude's ability in the pocket, the way he just stays healthy throughout his whole career, besides that freak knee injury. I mean, what else can you ask for?
Yeah.
From that man's body, man. That is, if the record is 48 and he think he could go for it, let's see it happen.
I mean, they showed that picture of Blanda and Brady at the age of 43. Matter of fact, the picture they showed, Jay, Brady was older in that picture. And we saw the difference. So no reason to doubt he can't do it. What you think of what you've seen? Or let me know what? Let me take a little spin on this, Jay, since you are the historian. Do you remember any athlete who at this age was this impressive, where you almost say this dude is still in the second stage of his prime?
The only ones I can think of are from the scripted world of professional wrestling. Those are the only ones. It's like you just mentioned with George Blanda. It's like I posted that pic on our scene fan page of Lynn Dawson at the halftime of Super Bowl one with a cigarette
Yes.
and a broom.
Yes.
And it's like George Blanda's from that era. He's
And
from
they
that
played,
era. Dude.
man.
Now, I do want to say this about Tom. Just in the last 8 days, he's pulled 2 unprecedented type things. Just lay it out there. You get the George Hallis Trophy. Normally that goes to the coach. We discussed this. This went to Tom. Super Bowl Media Day is generally held on Tuesday. Tom got it on Monday. That's just, see, this is why I've always, wherever he's at, I've always come up with some form of criminal outfit name
Got to.
describe. And this, I'll have a new one for them. I do one out there last week. I ain't really like it. I'll come up with one for them later this week. But I actually didn't even bother to listen to the press conference or none of that. I just remember that Vic made it, known that he was having this media session, and of course, I had to go to the vote and get my Jim Cornette meme for Tom Brady. It's only appropriate, but
Of course.
what we're watching with this dude though is simply unprecedented, man. And it's the same thing with LeBron James on the hoop side.
That's right.
And it's like, the comparisons of what they bring to this, they parallel. They truly parallel at that level, and I'm here for the sign me up.
Right.
I'm not a hater. I appreciate greatness. This is my type of stuff, man. So I'm good with it.
And I think that's an excellent point. Like we could sit here and go libistically or go with certain narratives about these 2 players that you just mentioned, but in reality, in terms of their greatness, in terms of the greatness to at such a long, consistent level, is something just truly unprecedented. I mean, Jordan, he had 14 years on and off. Joe Montana played like 9 years, really and truly. So I think when you look at 20 years and 17, 18 years playing all 5 positions, like truly, Germ, the greatness is unparalleled. But just speak on your half, on the film, on the things you've seen in your sports lifetime. Can he do it? Can he go past 45?
Well, I mean, the way he plays the position, he may have a chance to. I mean, we're talking about a person who uses his lower body a lot. He uses his lower body better than most of the young guys. Nothing he does is outside of the realm of overexerting himself or any one part of his body or anything of that nature. The mechanics are there. The feet are always set. The way he twists, he flips his hips to make a throw. The way he contorts his body. The way he gets down. If he knows, it's basically the dude is just. It's just what he's done with his body and in general.
Mm-hmm.
His body. Him and LeBron, they've done the best over the years of taking care of their body. And outside of that knee injury, where I'm just gonna call it what it is. Pollard went after him on that knee injury because that was probably the only way you was gonna stop them. And even on that play, it was a 70-yard pass to Randy Moss. It kind of just shows you a lot about this particular guy.
Right.
Like it's just not this is not the average guy playing the position. You know what type of mental stability you have to be in these situations time and time again. It ain't even just about like we talk about athleticism way too much. Athleticism is only part of the game. It's maybe a small piece of the game, maybe 20%. The other 80% starts to come into the mental and other things that you can't characterize or you can't measure.
Amen. Amen.
Real
mean,
quick.
go
Oh,
ahead.
no, go ahead, Mark. No, go ahead, Mark.
Well, I was just gonna say, kind of just move on from the subject, unless you want to add one more thing, Vic.
No, I mean, I was just gonna, from a strength and conditioning standpoint.
Yeah.
It's funny because they made this big thing of Rodgers was apparently lifting a lot, apparently doing a lot of squatting. I don't know if you guys heard it in the offseason. He was doing a lot more squatting this offseason.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and if you look at it, I mean, there's a certain time when your age where that heavy lifting, it's just not going to work for you anymore. You can't keep doing it forever.
Right.
So when you look at guys like Kobe Bryant, when you look at guys like LeBron James, when you look at guys like Tiger Woods and Tom Brady, they do a lot of body weight exercises, a lot of Pilates, a lot of stretching, a lot of flexibility exercises. Basketball specifically, you can't lift heavy. It's very rare that when I had my experience as a strength and conditioning coach, we rarely had those kids lifting heavy. It was a lot more flexibility, a lot more conditioning type of exercises. And that kind of stuff, for people as we get older, just to keep your mind, keep it in your mind that a lot of that stuff is more important than the lifting, just lifting weights, as you get older.
Absolutely. Obviously, all the attention is going to be on these two quarterbacks, Brady and Mahomes, but the quarterback of the defense that Tom Brady is going to be going up against is Tyrann Mathieu, number 32. And I'm just looking at this here, fellas. We talked about this a couple years ago. Tyrann Mathieu is one of those Where's Waldo type of players, type of defensive players. And those are my favorite defensive players. Well, here's something right here. In about 1,000 snaps, shout out to Next Gen Stats. In about 1,000 stats, he's lined up at safety over 500 times, slot corner over 30 times, outside linebacker over 100 times, edge rusher 48 times, inside linebacker 43 times, outside corner 5 times, and 3 times on the defensive line in some sort of blitz look. You talk about being a queen on a chessboard. My goodness. What can this man not do? So, Germ, let's kick it over to you on this. You know what? Yeah, let's kick it over to you. We're going to go to Vic, and then we're going to go to J-Ham and spin this question in a more historic way, as always. But, Germ, let's start with you on this. Speaking logistically, if you were Steve Spagnuolo, where do you want Honey Badger to be this week? What is his mission this Sunday?
See, I don't want him on Gronk. Let me start there. I think you take away from what your defensive scheme is going to be able to do this week if you put him on Gronk. Gronk is not the guy that we want to focus on. I think he's your robber this week. In order to beat Brady,
explain that.
You need to be able to play cover one.
Explain that.
Cover one. Everybody needs to be able to man up.
Mm-hmm.
One guy in the middle, one guy in deep middle, one guy in the intermediate part of the field. Cover one is what you're going to need to be able to play. If that's what you can play, if you can be physical with the outside receivers, make Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, AB have to work outside the numbers and right in on the immediate hash marks and things of that nature, that's how you're going to be able to slow this offense down. Period. It's really that simple. I don't think we have to go any further than that. I don't think, but maybe somebody else has something else.
The great thing about it is, while we're talking about this, is one of the lab show that we have Thursday night is going to cover these things. So stay tuned for that. Vic, same question with a little spin. if Gronk starts going off, because we know one thing about Brady in the Super Bowl, he is going to go to the guy he trusts most, whether that's Deion Branch against Philly, Julian Edelman the last two. Who does he trust most here? It's going to be either Gronk or AB. So if Gronk starts going off, 3 catches in the first quarter, 6 catches in the first half, are you going to have to adjust and put Honey Badger on? Or do you want Honey Badger in a specific role that doesn't include Gronk?
No, I mean that's just to piggyback off of what Germ said. That's probably the perfect way to use him. The best way to get through to these elite quarterbacks like a Brady is how can you disguise coverages? I mean, so Brady does a great job seeing like if the blitz is coming in, right? So they can kind of distract him with some blitz looks and then fall back in coverage, right? So fall back into a Robert technique where you can get in front of the mesh concepts. That's just going to leave the corners on one-on-one matchups, right? With Mike Evans and Antonio Brown. That's going to expose them a little bit. But again, how can you get Brady guessing if he's going to come in, if he's going to back out? Then you have a situation where if he's finding Gronk, if he's finding Godwin, over the middle, then do you change that concept up a little bit and have him go one-on-one? Because like you said, I don't know if that was PFF or next gen. You said next gen.
That was next gen.
Oh, okay. So
that's where at least that's where I got the information from. PFF could have their own, obviously.
Okay, no, I didn't know next gen did the where the positions are, but
they actually did. They got a lot of interesting stuff on there.
Yeah, next gen is cool.
Yeah, they do. But yeah, no, if it's a situation where he's finding guys in the middle of the field, they might have to make a switch because that's where he excels better at, is in between the hash marks, in between the numbers, as opposed to an outside corner. That's why he only had like 5 snaps as an outside corner.
Right. Which is still impressive. I mean, regardless, because the dude could do it all. Jay, here's my question to you. Is there any other safety that you can remember who was this sort of chess piece, or any other safety who had this type of impact on a defense? And probably, I'm not saying name one. You just whatever you think.
Probably not as much from the corner spot, but impactfully Bob Sanders.
That's a great point. That's a great one. That's a great
because
one.
I remember going into that playoff, Indianapolis was trash. Just trying to stop the run and things of that nature. Well, they got in the playoffs. They saw Kansas City in the first round with Larry Johnson with his 400 carries and 1,700 yards or whatever it was, and they bottled that cat.
Yeah.
Because they had 20 back in the lineup.
Because he came back. He was hurt, right? Wasn't he hurt?
Yeah.
Right. And through the year, he was injured a lot. That was the key, a whole lot that year. But when January came, he was back in full effect. And it made big dividends in them, getting to that Super Bowl win that year.
Absolutely.
He's the first one that comes to mind, though.
That's not even. I wasn't even thinking of Bob Sanders, and shame on me, because he.
Well, don't feel bad about that, because the problem with Bob Sanders was he only had that good year,
right?
Because of injury. But as a safety, you talk about impact and those type of things, like. Bob had everything. You talk about a 5'8" player. He hit Cedric Benson. RIP to Cedric Benson. He was rested in peace after that hit.
I remember
on
that.
Super Bowl Sunday. Yeah. I remember that hit. Because I remember like, oh, I was a shot. Oh, I don't want to get hit like that on a running play. So I remember those things from him. Now, Jay said him. I'm just gonna throw out another guy and give it back to you. The ultimate chess piece that we have is we got Troy Polamalu, who was the ultimate chess piece. You still got to make sure you talk about the Woodsons too.
Always.
Absolutely.
And ironically, Ham, all of them played for either Baltimore or Pittsburgh.
Okay. Yeah, even
except
Prime
for Bob
played
Sanders.
for Baltimore. Even Prime played for Baltimore.
And let me specify, you did say both Woodsons, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Charles and
Yes, I sure did say both.
Whoa, hold on. What happened to Darren Woodson though? We gonna forget about Darren Woodson, the Cowboy days?
I mean, come on now, Vic. You talking about?
Hey,
Listen, he was
He was-
Jay. You know who he was in modern NFL area. Shout out to the best secondary, Darian Stewart. No offense, but Darian Stewart in that little 3-year stretch was one of the best single high safeties in the NFL. And so,
Give me if you're gonna say him, just we're gonna talk about Darren Sharper then.
uh,
He would be better than Woodson.
do we
than
have
Darren Woodson.
to?
Woodson
We don't
played
have
15
to,
years.
but he was a part of a defense that won a Super Bowl.
he was
It's true, but he's just such a perverted turd.
Yeah, I mean, hey, look, nobody said that we had to talk about anything outside of football.
That's fair.
I don't
That's
even
fair.
know if I want to.
He just stained himself, but that's
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah. Anyways,
We got to be able to separate. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, we got to separate the people from the game.
not
we only care
always.
about the game.
Not always. Sometimes we just don't want to talk about somebody.
We gotta separate the people from the game, man. We gotta.
Vic
Did he
wouldn't
make
know
an
nothing
impact?
about this. Vic wouldn't know nothing about this, but as Harry Doyle said about Jack Parkman, he's still a
Man.
dick.
Big time. Another major factor, and I mean, when you have two all-star perennial, all-pro, all-world, legendary quarterbacks playing, you got to talk about the defense. And so we talked about the Honey Badger, but let's talk about speed. And let's talk about Tampa Bay's speed, particularly number 45 speed. We know Kansas City is fast. Kansas City is fast on the outside. Kansas City is fast on the inside. Kansas City is fast wherever Travis Kelce or that other who defies what fast actually means. Sit down somewhere, Scotty Miller. Tyreek Hill. So, fellas, Tampa's speed. Talk about it.
You want to start? You want me to start?
Well, I mean, we know.
All right, what's up?
Yeah, go ahead.
So,
go ahead.
I take all the shots. It don't make a difference. Shooting 40, 90%, 50, 40, 90 club. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I think altogether, the speed of the front seven is gonna be a big key because the speed is not gonna be there in the secondary. So the closing burst of being able to get to Mahomes is gonna be the key. Barrett, JPP, when Devin White blitzes, he's one of the best blitzing linebackers in football.
I mean,
It is what it is. We're just gonna call it what it is in this situation. I don't think the back end is fast enough to be able to contain this type of speed, but you don't have to. What you have to do is you have to be disciplined. See, against speed like this, they want you to key in on the motion guy so they can hit you up the seam, or key in on the motion guy so they can hit him in the flat. Because they want to misdirect you and then get you a one step here because they know they got 4-3 speed guys and under who can get past you. If you be disciplined and attack your gaps and maintain gap integrity, the Atlanta Falcons is a perfect game to scout on that.
Yeah.
All you have to see is gap discipline, make sure that you keep these guys in front of you, and where you play man coverage is when you get around the 30-yard line. Because that means the throw now has to be perfect because all I need to do is stay up under them. And what do we know about corners in the NFL that are 6 feet and above with Cheetah Bow and Miko Hardman, who are both 5'10" or under?
Yeah.
We can make plays on the football if we are behind. I will tell you like this. I teach all my kids if I'm coaching, hands up, baby. It's time to go down. It's like we're on a roller coaster, baby. Six Flags, Geauga Lake style. Hands up and run, baby. Whee! Let's go. Dive into some coverage, baby.
Vic Jr., let's talk about it. The speed, Devin White, Antoine Whitfield.
Yeah, when we do the film study,
Winfield.
That's one game that I was studying was how they handled Tampa Bay, how Tampa Bay basically defended the Chiefs for a little bit because there was a few moments, a few drives where they did a good job defending them, besides giving up those two big plays. And Devin White, of course, was a big factor in it in terms of his coverage underneath, how much range he has, from sideline to sideline. Mm-hmm. So we will definitely go over that and some of the speed that he has covering that field because he's definitely all over the place. I mean, he looks like a Troy Polamalu for the most part, getting sideline to sideline in terms of his range. So, definitely in the film study, we'll show some of that stuff. And like Jerm said, the Falcons game, too, was a good game to look at and how they defended the Chiefs as well.
No, all excellent points. Jay, now I don't want to get too carried away because people are going to just stick on to words just for narratives, but I'm going to ask you from a lab standpoint. You could kind of see a similar blueprint in terms of structure from this Bucks defense now and the 2002 team. Now, obviously, the 2002 team was much better by levels. Let's just keep it all the way real. But by structure, there's some similarities there, or am I wrong? Your thoughts on how they compare in terms of the blueprint of these two then and now. Challenge. Keep it trending.
I agree.
Thank you.
And I don't like to use the term great value as a knock because
Right.
I buy great value brand stuff when I go to Walmart, when I can stomach going into Walmart. I don't mind going with the generic product. Hey, y'all all three of y'all that had my cookies. It's been great value flour, great value brown sugar, great value sugar, great
So
value
we can't say nothing.
See what I'm saying? It's like great value is player. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool with it. But I definitely get what, because I look at that line and I look at it and I'm seeing number 90 and I'm looking at that and I'm seeing 99.
Yeah.
I'm looking at 54 and I'm seeing 55 from the 02 team. I'm looking at the cats in the secondary like your Dexter Jackson, your Dwight Smith, versus what's my guy with the two last names that play corner?
Sean Murphy Bunton.
See what I'm saying? But they make it plays. They coming up. They getting it done.
Right. Yeah.
And who was the DC for that squad? That was Money Squad, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
I think Mike Tomlin was also on that defensive staff.
He was.
And this is Todd Bowles' squad, right?
Right.
On the side. It's not a
Too
great
far
value.
off.
Great value is cool, man.
Hey, listen, I don't even know I don't even know if it's all the way
Tag me
great
in.
value. You know what I mean? It's like filet mignon and prime rib. Like it's still elite.
And I'm not trying to say it's
Tag me in.
pinpoint, but I get where you're going with it. You know what I'm
Thank you.
saying? Just the general base of it.
Thank you. Go ahead, Jerm. What you got?
I just gotta say, I just think that defense. This is what I gotta say. I'm sorry, I gotta be real.
Go ahead.
I don't think that the defense is better. I think it was more prime for the time that they were in.
I think that's fair too.
And I think, yes, I think that was just
what I was expecting you to say at all.
Because you know what it did? It gave, first of all, with John Lynch being the guy. At that time, strong safeties were the enforcers. Now your enforcer can be anybody from your defensive tackle to your defensive end to your middle linebacker. Hell, it could be a corner in a zone defense.
Right.
So the times have changed. So we're looking at a defense that won in a 5-year span where defensive physicality was at its peak.
Sure.
The defensive hit stick on Madden came out in 05. You see what I'm saying?
And it was a couple years late.
Yeah. So you're looking at that 5-year span. And then 06 things started to kind of change because 06 is when we got Bob Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
Bob Sanders was the enforcer, but he had so many other skills. He was a complete football player. And then we start breaking down the other teams, and then we get Troy.
Mm-hmm.
Then after we get Troy, we get who was the safeties for the Giants that year?
What's his name? Good Lord.
Not
Not Seahorn. That was from the 90s, bro.
Yeah,
hey, I'm so upset with you. I want to thump your nose because you said Seahorn. We ain't seen. Now, I ain't gonna say what I was getting ready to say, but it's okay because I was about to say something real interesting. But with that being said, the key thing is, like, I just thought that was interesting. This defense is why it's different. It's because it's more athletically inclined in certain spots. With Sean Murphy Bunting, your slot or your nickel corner is normally supposed to be your best athlete. Hey y'all, that's their best athlete. John Murphy Bunting. You see what I'm saying? Like it's so weird. So I didn't want to take a shot at him, but I do want to give him the praise because this defense, their enforcers are the guys in the middle, and it's that triangle. The triangle that I say, people say, what's the triangle? The holy trinity of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It is Vita Vea, Levante David, and Devin White. That's the holy trinity of this defense. Vita is a specimen. He is one of the best damn players I have ever seen on the defensive line, and I scouted him. Pass rush value, great job of anchoring himself and setting something along the backside of the line of scrimmage, 2 yards behind, 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Man, he is a horse. I've seen him getting triple teamed on some plays. When Levante, he was unavailable for the last game.
For the first game, yeah.
Man, look, when he is in the game, 54 and 45, you just flip them numbers and you get something good. Because them two numbers, you flip them on that defense, you get something good every time. Them two dudes, stop, man. Look, man, I'm sorry, man. I got to give them credit, man. Them three dudes, that's the holy trinity, man. Let's go.
What were the linebackers from that year? You had Derek Brooks. And who was the other one?
It was two other guys.
Derek
Trav is here.
I'm sure Trav got it. Yeah.
Trav, if you're in the comments, please give me the other line. Give me the safeties and the linebackers from that 0-2 defense. Because I'm gonna tell you this too. Dexter Jackson, as good as he played, he don't have Whitfield's. Bro, Whitfield is different. I'm telling y'all, that's a second gen kid.
Yeah.
And his daddy was cold. His daddy was with it. Yeah. And his daddy was only 5'8".
Yeah.
His daddy was 5'8".
Yeah. The OG Antoine Winfield was the OG Antoine Winfield.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Didn't he have an all-pro season at corner and at safety? Let's be real. I'm here. I like it.
Remember, at that time, the 4-3 schemes were a lot more prevalent too.
Sheldon
so you had your strong side. Yeah, you had your strong side linebackers more on the field than your nickel cornerback. So that's why you only see 54 and 45 now, as opposed to 3 linebackers, on the field more often.
Yep. So
you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
That defense. The last thing I'm gonna say, and then I'm gonna jump back to you, Mo. But like I said, I don't know if you heard me. The Holy Trinity.
I did. I couldn't hear you. I just couldn't speak for whatever reason.
With that being said, bro, I'm being real with y'all. Like, that Holy Trinity is better than what I feel from that Tampa Bay front seven.
I hear
because they're interchangeable, and that's the part there. The thing is, Warren Sapp that's a Hall of Famer,
right?
We don't know what Vita gonna be. So we don't know that yet because it's about health. But you took Simeon Rice, that's a Hall of Famer.
Right.
Eric Brooks. I mean, Levante David, nice.
I think it's criminally underrated and unjust that Simeon Rice is not in the Hall of Fame.
What has he got? 97 sacks for his career or something like that? Or, yeah, I mean, it's something insane. Like,
what I'm telling y'all is now, he's a Hall of Famer.
Absolutely.
I don't care about the rest
absolutely.
of that.
Absolutely.
I don't care about all the other stuff, man. It's people in the Hall of Fame that don't even need to be there.
Can you name 10 edge rushers?
Hell, man.
That were better, or 10 edge rushers that you would prefer? Probably not. Like,
you can probably name 10, Mo, but you can't name 15.
There you go. That's another thing.
We just gonna be real about it.
That's true. Very true.
Because Simeon ain't a better edge rusher than a couple guys we got in now, but because they have elite ability. Remember, the edge position is such a wide range because you got your heavy in the britches guys and your guys who play against the run, and then you got your guys that are elite athletes that get around the edge with explosiveness, with quickness, with burst, with flexibility. So it's different. Simeon didn't have that elite flexibility, but he damn sure was productive. He damn sure was a good player. We're gonna have to put some respect on this, man.
Absolutely.
We're gonna talk about this. We're gonna talk about it right, goddammit, because y'all making me mad. Not you. These narratives make me mad, man. I gotta wag my finger.
So let's go.
I like it.
I hear you. Let's go rapid fire closing style. We're gonna get to the comment section and close the show out with some closing thoughts. Vic, a quick one for you in the comment section. Where did it go? I lost it. Where did it go? I don't remember who said it. It might have been okay. It was Kenneth. It was Kenneth both times. Kenneth Trotter. Shout out to Kenny. Good to see you in the comment section, brother. When we were talking about Tyrann Mathieu and all the other great people that we mentioned, in terms of Tyrann Mathieu, he mentioned Brian Dawkins and Cam Chancellor. Vic, your thoughts on those two names in comparison?
Cam was a little bit different just because, again, they use him as an enforcer. They use him as in the box strictly. He wasn't somebody that can cover much. There wasn't somebody that you're going to see as a free safety as well. You didn't want him to be in space and coverage, but he was somebody that, you know, when it was down to the running game, anybody crossing the middle of the field on a slant, on a drag or anything like that, they were going to feel him. Brian Dawkins was more of that Troy Polamalu, Bob Sanders mold where you can play them in different spots. Tyrann Mathieu, of course, you can play them in different spots and, you know, also in coverage as well. So Cam was just that guy that, I mean, with his size, he was a linebacker basically playing safety.
Right.
You know what I mean? So he was just that guy that you did not want to feel that hit. You did not want to feel that hit as a receiver.
The only thing I would say about the Brian Dawkins thing is he was probably a little better in coverage. Tyrann, that is, in terms of like the different things he can do in coverage, but also just two fantastic names. Trav mentioned Ed Reed. Ed is just a standard
Free safety.
of
Free safety. That
right.
dude.
I mean, nothing to say about it.
The range. I mean, and Malik Hooker, man. I wish, you know, German and I study that dude heavy. If he could stay healthy, he could kind of give you that modern day, you know, free safety look that Ed Reed brought. Because I mean, that's even more important now in this pass happy type of league that we're in now. You know, so that's how it is.
So let's get to the comment section on J Ham's trivia. Jay, do you want to give the answer or do you want me to read the comments first?
We can read them out first.
Okay,
because
so
I saw two correct ones thus far.
Me too. So let's go off top here. When I'm done, you let me know what's what. Leon, as he hit it off, started with Mike Shanahan. April mentioned John Gruden, but he's active technically. So that go ahead. Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm just counting with you. We got one.
Big Shot Ron said Tom Flores. Leon said Bill Belichick. Obviously, he's active. Ty Love, good guess. Tom Coughlin. I guess Tom Coughlin. Yeah. All right.
He won two bowls.
He won 2.
7 and 11.
Okay, yeah.
So he's in there, right?
So remember?
But Tom's gonna get in. Like Coughlin's gonna get in, right?
Right. Yeah, he should. I mean,
but he on the list for today.
He counts.
Okay. April said Marty Schottenheimer.
You know damn well Marty ain't won no Super Bowl.
Damn well know that.
Marty's still looking for the gleam.
Those were actually all the guesses that we had. So
I got him on the last one.
Oh yeah. Oh, we know that. This is a warm-up one. This is a warm-up one.
3 have been gotten, but I got him on the last one.
How many we missing?
What happened to who?
Ty Love said Dan Reeves. That's been disqualified.
Dan Reeves is 0-4 in Super Bowls.
Right. Don't forget SpongeBob has already beat Brady in the Super Bowl. Jorge said that. I don't know what that means. Mike Tomlin is not on there. So Jay.
Got him.
I don't see the. I think it's two questions, 2 guys left, right?
It's actually 4.
Oh, interesting.
We got 3. We got Tom Flores.
Yep.
We got Tom Coughlin.
Yep.
We got Mike Shanahan.
Yep.
And we have George Seifert.
Oh my God.
Seifert won with Montana and later won with Young. San Fran.
Oh my God, that's right.
Because he won his first one the year after Bill Walsh retired, and then they repeated.
You are so right. Okay.
And then after that, he left there and he went to Carolina, and he almost got Carolina to the bowl.
Oh man.
April said Dick Vermeil.
You did. You got me. You got me. You definitely got me. So it's Tom Flores, Tom Coughlin. Who's the third one?
Mike Shanahan.
Mike Shanahan. That's the one. That's the one you told me pre-show. Oh, okay. All right.
Shanahan was the one that went back to back.
Yes. Ironically, speaking of back to back, the last 3 times a team has had an attempt to repeat as champions, Brady has been in one of those Super Bowls. 14, when Seattle went there, Brady was there. 18, when they went to play Philly, obviously he was there. And now Mahomes going for number 2 back to back, and Brady is there again to ensure, hopefully, that he is the last quarterback to go back to back.
We're gonna see how much people paying attention. Because I'm gonna throw y'all a nugget right here, right now. Tom Flores is the only coach to win multiple Super Bowls with a quarterback who's also not in the Hall of Fame.
Wow.
Jim Plunkett. Plunkett's got the same 2 that Flores has got.
I wonder if April knew that one. And then Jorge just said, I'm sorry. Well, yeah, Jay.
I figured April would appreciate the Oakland Raider love.
We got to show some sort of Raiders love, right?
Considering that John Madden's in the Hall of Fame and his quarterback, his Super Bowl winning quarterback, is also in the Hall of Fame, the late, great Kenny Stabler.
Yes.
Shout out to April.
Who also had Kenny Stabler had the most controversial call in quarterback history. Do not at me. Disable the comments, Germ.
Which one? The ghost from the post or the holy roller?
The holy roller.
Ooh.
The holy roller. That was the most controversial quarterback play in NFL history. And it's not even close.
That game? You know who was at that game?
Bill Belichick.
My pops.
Did you stop playing?
He told me the story. He said he was sitting in the corner of the end zone at the holy roller game. I was like, yo.
Wow.
Man,
love,
look,
Pops. Love.
Straight up.
Love.
Hey, man.
Love.
He said it was one of his most historic
OG,
moments, you know. So
Pop's a OG for that, man.
I swear he is. And
Pop's
he's a former Oakland Raider fan. The only time I think I saw him drop his Oakland Raider flag was when they lost to New England in the 85 divisional. It's like, yo, this is the most upset I've ever seen. You ain't even been this upset with me on the court. And since then,
it's different.
Dude, they been sitting on the squad. Man, rest in peace to my guy, man.
Amen.
Had to shout him out though.
Hey,
you know?
Absolutely. R.I.P. Pops.
Always. Yeah, definitely.
You want to answer this question in the comment section?
Kenny, it says if, and I mean a big if Mahomes wins the
Super
Bowl
respect on. He putting respect out in there in that universe, Kenny. I like
what
that.
What do you think the likelihood will be they go back the next season, as in the Chiefs? Look, man. It's approaching that time where, as long as they got Mahomes, I'm not counting them out. I don't know what. I
would
don't know what you clearing your throat flow.
I think that attrition
fix
would
your posture.
Just like in the NBA, I think that attrition would have
want the
only thing, Jay, is the attrition. That's the
y'all want the truth?
Mm-hmm.
To be honest with you, Pat is probably slated to be in the next 3. You got a situation where you got rosters that are going to be getting older. Salary cap is becoming more of a thing. He's solidified. They got a whole bunch of capital that they're going to have to use and spend. And if the quarterback is good, imagine if they start drafting offensive linemen.
Man,
imagine if they find a couple pass rushers. They got about 3 guys right now on their team that are collecting money that don't hardly even play or impact the game.
Yeah.
And one of them is Frank Clark. The other guy the other 2 guys that they have on there, or the other guy that's on their cap that doesn't really affect the game as much because he's been hurt, is Sammy Watkins.
Yeah.
Besides that, you got Big Matthew and you got my guy Chris Jones, who's one of the 3 best defensive tackles in man, I was about to cuss. He one of the 3 best defensive tackles in football. Y'all better look. We just gonna call it what it is. I ain't gonna sugarcoat it for y'all. Dude cold. Dude is cold.
Yeah.
Cold as ice, baby.
Yep. Kenneth says, thank you for that O-line comment. Vic, I'm gonna answer this question if y'all don't mind. I'm gonna take this one. Mr. Jorge Mr. None of Your Biz, Mr. Met. I don't know why he talking. He is still a Mets fan. Mets fans shouldn't be talking so loud ever, and a Knicks fan at that. But anyways, he says Spagnolo already beat Brady in the Super Bowl. Clearly, he wanted me to read that comment because he typed it twice. No, Jorge, I saw it the first time and willingly chose to ignore it because for number one, that team had 4 guys that could rush and could get you for 60, 70 snaps, get after you with 4 guys. Kansas City, not that type of defense, Chief. Also, Antonio Pierce, better than anything KC has at the linebacker position. That's my thought on that.
Shout out to Antonio Pierce, man.
Yeah, I don't like him as an analyst, but shout out to Antonio Pierce. He played a pivotal role in that Super Bowl.
Yeah, he was very key.
Yeah, you got it, Ty. You got it, Tom. You got it, Ty. Thank you for the online Schwartz. Shout out to Tanya. Shout out to April. Shout out to MJ. Dennis is in there. Talked about Kenneth. Big Shot is obviously in there. Trav in there. Joe in there. Leon in there. KG in there as always. Shout out to everybody in the comment section. Around the horn. Closing thoughts. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a tiger by the toe. If you want to let it go, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Go ahead, Jay.
I'm gonna stump y'all slow ass all week with trivia.
Oh, yeah, we
I'm
know
in
that.
my luggage over here with it. Straight up. I even got OJ trivia involving the Super Bowl. That's right, OJ Simpson, not OJ Howard.
And you can Google it, but some of them you're gonna have to go to like page 3,
Truthfully,
page 4, or the search.
You better fab. You see me coming fab your Google engines, man. Straight up.
So
Unless you
again,
just know.
let me know, comment section, Facebook, Messenger, whatever, if you want to be a part of this game show type thing that we're doing for the Super Bowl. It's going to be trivia. It's going to be some pop culture stuff. It's going to be some sort of thing where we involve the actual game in itself. We got some brainstorming to do, but just promise y'all, we got something lined up. Vic, closing thoughts.
I'm just ready for that Thursday film study, or
Amen.
gonna get ready. We're gonna see a little bit of how you're gonna stop Pat Mahomes and how Tyreek Hill is an important piece to Pat Mahomes.
I love it.
And why he's so great.
Jern,
right
closing thoughts.
I know what this is, man. I hope the notifications is on. I hope y'all paying some time. I hope y'all paying some attention because, boy, if it's one person that you don't want scouting you, it's Germ, because I know how to stop them all, and I'm gonna give y'all. Look, I've been on fire. I didn't give y'all every blueprint I gave y'all this year in the postseason has come to fruition. So that means Thursday, y'all better tune in. Y'all better get this blueprint on how to stop these 2 players.
And who are those 2 players?
Yeah, who are the 2 players?
Pat Mahomes and Tom Brady.
Oh,
We on the road with the cover show.
yes.
Gin rummy.
I think my closing thoughts is number 1, you should all be following us on the social media platforms: Twitter, scene_the, Instagram, the.scene, Facebook, scene page, SCEN. That's how it's seen is spelled, because we set trends and change narratives around these here parts. That's the first thing. Number 2, make sure your notifications are on for the YouTube channel. Number 3, it's the greatest Super Bowl matchup ever, Chief. And we got you covered like Dion in his uniform.
Okay.
Shout out to Jay.
Best cover man since Dion.
Here you go. That's how you say it.
No, but you gotta say it because so it be clever and catchy. Because they like it that way.
I like to say it this way.
Hey, they gotta like it. Hey, y'all, tell them that y'all don't like it like that. Y'all like the way Germ say it, so he can say it like I Germ.
Jorge said, "Man, go to bed." That's
no, he said that about. He said, "See, Jorge be on that hate
Jorge
time."
said that.
Listen,
Jorge said that.
Hey, tell Jorge to worry about the Mets. So look, at the end of the day, it's okay, Mo.
We got you covered like Dion in his uniform. Take 2 action. It's the best Super Bowl matchup ever, and we got you covered like Dion in his uniform. Shout out to Prime Time. Shout out to Watch the Throne, because that's where the reference is from. We will catch y'all later. Take us home, Jeremy. I ain't even giving you the truth tonight.
Hey, he on that trash again.
See,
I don't know what's wrong with him.
you know what? Matter of fact, it is actually trash night. I gotta go.
Hey.